Matthew 28:16 through 20 tells all Christians to go out into ministry. I chose the field of ministry as the focus of my senior capstone for many reasons. First reason being that this would be a field I know I'll be active in throughout my whole life, and that there's nothing else I'd rather do most. Second reason being that I would be given a learning stretch, as I would be challenged to learn more about and grow deeper in ministry wherever God may call me to. And the third and most important reason being simply because of my deep love for God. I became active in my church, Revolution Church, and their children's ministry. Here, I would serve as a small group leader to primarily 4th and 5th grade boys, although depending on the day, it would vary. I would then go deeper into my ministry by investing more time into growing as a Christian and in my ministry in many ways. My facilitator, friend, and youth pastor at Greater Heights Baptist Church, Micah Fawcett, told me that only 25% of your ministry will be noticed. The rest will go unnoticed. So let me give you a small glimpse of that specific aspect of my ministry. I would first write out my plans to deeply engage myself in what I was doing, and then I would review what I had wrote, and then later type it. In these plans, I would review the plans provided to me by the church, and then elaborate on them, making sure I had wrote down not only the church's central message and biblical story, but anything biblical or personal I could use to connect to the kids. Once completed, I would take time reviewing, spending personal time with God, and preparing for Sunday's small group, which I would write a review for, reflecting on how it went after. I drive to Revolution Church early before the service to take at least an hour spending time with God through reading my Bible and praying, socializing, and going over my plans. I make my way to the kids' ministry side of the church, getting whatever I may need, eventually spending the rest of my time before serving in the team lounge. The church service for the kids is high energy, happy, and engaging, not only for the children, but the adults I serve with too. We usually start off with a few minutes to meet with our small groups, say the memory verses of the day, and then we all play a game. After that, we dance and we sing, worshiping God to a couple songs, and this is usually where the kids first notice how weird I am with my dance moves and how awful I am at singing. It's okay though, they love it, and I'll still worship no matter what. After that, we go into our large group where the message and story of the day is delivered to all the kids. Once it's finished, we break off into our small groups, and I'm able to pour into and invest into the lives of my kids. I attend the next service and listen to an amazing message, equipping me, growing me in ministry, and allowing me to be filled with whatever I may need emotionally and spiritually. The rest of the day carries on, and I'm reminded that my ministry is always active, always needed, and always needs growth. Later on, I may take time to write some personal reflections which I feel moved to share from my personal life on whatever I may face in my ministry. And here I am with a small glimpse of 25% of one specific area of my ministry to show you. It'd take me a year to tell you all about my ministry experiences so far, and honestly, I really want to graduate and move on to college already, so just kidding. But my testimonies and God's amazing works need to be heard. I mean, in this short amount of time, how could I elaborate on the wonders God's worked within our own city, as I was able to bring together more than 30 little kids affected by poverty to play soccer in a community and show them how loved they are? How could I begin to describe that briefly, how I was led to another state to have a 10-minute conversation with a homeless woman and lead her to Jesus? How could I start to explain the impact of a love so deep, impacting my life and the lives of countless people in our school, community, state, country, and world? This senior project has taught me and reminded me many things. I have been taught and reminded that I am worth it, that I'm not defined by others or lies, that I have a deep purpose, that I'm deeply loved, that my abilities are needed and appreciated, my testimonies and God's amazing works need to be heard, and that God is greater than I could have ever imagined. Of course, there's more I was taught and reminded, but the one thing I am reminded of most as the senior project ends is that I'm not finished. My ministry is still in need of growth, of learning stretches, and of Jesus. My ministry is still needed by Jesus. There is still love to share, friendships to build, lives to invest in, lost that need to be found, broken that need comfort, and relationships with God that need guidance or need to begin in general. I could never imagine my senior project impacting my personal life and others as deeply as it has. And although my senior capstone is done, my ministry is not complete.